Claude Engineer, an amazing tool that allows you to operate locally, search the internet easily, and utilize the power of Claude 3.5 Sonnet. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of Open Interpreter, and this tool really reminds me of Open Interpreter. I will show in a moment exactly how you can install it and how you can use it. I'm very excited about this tool. It's pretty mind-blowing. The installation process is seamless and easy, and the capabilities are nothing short but of amazing. Basically, Claude Engineer is a GitHub repository, as you can see here. It's an interactive command line interface that leverages the power of Anthropic Claude 3.5 Sonnet to assist with software development tasks. The tool combines capabilities of large language models with practical file system operations and web search functionality. So basically, as I said, the tool can operate locally, so it can manipulate files and can also search the internet. So it's basically like I wouldn't say an agent, but it's somewhat of an agent, very powerful one that has also ability to operate locally. Here's a list of the features. So interactive chat interface, file system operation. It can create folders, create files, read and write files. It has web search capabilities using the Tavily API, syntax highlighting for code snippets, project structure creation and management. So we can create folders, pretty amazing. Code analysis and improvement suggestions. This is also very powerful. Obviously, you can also do this with Visual Studio Code extensions such as Continue. Check out my video about this in the channel. Vision capability support via drag and drop of images in the terminal. Auto mode for autonomous task completion, iteration tracking in auto mode, and diff-based file editing for precise code modifications. Now, the installation process is very simple. As you can see, there are only 3 files. The main, the README and the requirements. All you have to do is git clone the repository, then you cd into the directory, pip install the requirements, add the Anthropic API key and the Tavily API key. This is the Tavily website. You can just go to this URL and find your API key. Then if you don't have a Claude subscription, I highly recommend that you check it out. By the way, the automation and what I'm going to show you cost me 60 cents and I know that many of you are interested in understanding the cost involved and how many tokens were used. So I'm just letting you know upfront that what I did and what I will show you in the example cost me 40 cents. So you take the API keys from here for Claude, and you take the API keys from Tavily from here, and you paste it in the file. There is a very specific place. It's pretty obvious where you need to add it. I'm not going to show you in the file because I don't want to export my API keys and I don't want to change them just yet, but it's at the top of the file. It's pretty straightforward, very obvious. Now, let me show you exactly the repository and how it looks like. Basically, it's only one file. The most interesting thing here is the system message. Let's go up. Okay, so this is the system message. Okay, the API keys, these are all the libraries that are imported. Those are the API keys. I will just change them afterwards, never mind. And the system prompt. So you are Claude, an AI assistant powered by Anthropic's Claude 3.5 Sonnet model. You are an exceptional software developer with vast knowledge across multiple programming languages, frameworks, and best practices. Your capabilities include creating project structures, including folders and files, writing clean and efficient and well-documented code, debugging complex issues and providing detailed explanations, offering architectural insights and design patterns, staying up to date with the latest technologies and industry trends, reading and analyzing existing files in a project repository directory, listing files in the root directory of the project, performing web searches to get up-to-date information or additional context, When you use search, make sure you use the best query to get the most accurate and up-to-date information. Important. When editing files, always provide the full content of the file, even if you're only changing a small part. The system will automatically generate and apply appropriate difference. Analyzing images provided by the user. When an image is provided, carefully analyze its contents and incorporate your observations into your response. When asked to create a project, always start by creating a root folder for the project, then create the necessary subdirectories and files within the root folder. Organize the project structure logically and follow best practices for the specific type of project being created. Use the provided tools to create folders and files as needed. When asked to make edits or improvements, use the read file tool to examine the contents of existing files, analyze the code and suggest improvements or make necessary edits. Use the write to file tool to implement changes, providing the full updates file content. Be sure to consider the type of the project, if it's a Python, JavaScript, web application, when determining what's the appropriate structure and files to include. You can read files, list the content of the root folder where the script is being run, and perform web searches. Use these capabilities when the user asks for edits or improvement of existing files. You need to understand the current state of the project, or you believe reading a file or listing directory context will be beneficial to accomplish the user goal, or when you need up-to-date information or additional context. When you need the current information or feel that a search could provide a better answer, use the Tavili search tool. This tool performs a web search and returns a concise answer along with relevant sources. Always strive to provide the most accurate, helpful, and detailed responses possible. Let's move forward. So auto mode, I'm not going to cover this. If you're interested in reading the code, obviously just give it a go and read it in order to understand better what is auto mode, but I want to keep this video relatively short. Over here, you can see all the functions that are created. So if there is let's say, if there is an error, what happens when you do the Tavili search? So for example, different tools over here, you can see what happens when, what exactly does the tool or the function look like when you want to read a file, what is the description, etc. So this is like more like the skeleton of how these things works, or the foundation of how this amazing tool works. I don't want to dive too deep into it, but if you're interested, just give a look. I just wanted to show you how detailed is the system prompt, and how detailed or in general are the functions and all the tools. Now let me show you an example. So I installed this, as you can see, CD Claude Engineer, Python main. This is how it looks like. So welcome to Claude 3.5 Sonnet Engineer. Chat with image support. Type exit to end the conversation. Type image to include an image in your message. Type auto mode and the number to enter autonomous mode with a specific number of iterations. And while in auto mode, you can press Ctrl C to exit the auto mode and to return to regular chat. So basically, if you want to control the iterations, you don't type auto mode. If you wanted to like be on autopilot, you just use the auto mode. So here's the first example. Obviously, you can start an AI video or a demonstration without asking the LLM to create a snake game. So here's the process. Create a snake game for me. So Claude answered, certainly, I'd be happy. Okay, no contrast. Certainly, I'd be happy to create a snake game for you. We'll use Python and Pygame library to create a simple yet fun snake game. Then he was thinking. He laid down all the steps. Then he suggested tools that he will need to use. Let me see, it's over here. So create folder. This is the path. Then basically it wrote down all the next steps. I gave it a confirmation that it's fine by me. So sure. Then it created the snake game and he placed it over here. As you can see, result file created, snake close. This is the new directory, and this is the snake game. Let me show you exactly. Let's go here. And as you can see over here, snake game. If we open it with Python, you can see the snake game. And the cool thing about this, which is kind of similar to Open Interpreter, but it's not similar to other platforms, when you're just copying and pasting the code. So it also created the files locally, and this is where it shines. And I will show you in a moment a few more examples of why this is very powerful. Okay, let's not start playing while we are recording a video. Okay, the next thing that I asked it to do was create, let's see, I asked it to create a YouTube downloader. Can you create a script that downloads a YouTube video for me, prompt the user for a YouTube URL, and then download the file? So it basically created this Python file in one iteration, as you can see over here. Let's open it with Visual Studio Code. This is the code, so this is how it looks like. And let's run the code. Although, as you can see, I already downloaded the video, but let's just do it again live. So let's open this code, enter the YouTube URL. Let's say we wanna download YouTube hook tour. Let's see, youtube.com hook tour. Let's take this one. And let's paste it over here. Enter the output folder. So let's choose this folder. It's going to start downloading. As you can see at the moment. Okay, that's it. It's already downloaded. As you can see, very fast. And it told me download complete, file saved as, this is probably the name of the file, hook to a girl funny for you page shorts reels, and this is the file location. Let's take a look.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hook to it. Spit on that.
Okay, pretty amazing. And again, this was only like, it took, as you can see, obviously it took 1 second to download, but also the generation of the script was very, very fast. Now, last example was over here. I asked it to analyze a folder. By the way, you can also adjust these colors if you don't like the contrast. It's possible. So can you help me with scraping using Selenium Base and PyOTP? So Selenium Base is a very helpful platform for web automation, browser automation, and PyOTP is a Python library that allows you to handle two-factor authentication. And I needed help. I'm trying to create an automation with Selenium Base, but I'm not sure exactly how to use PyOTP. So I asked it to assist me, and the cool thing about this, it realized that it needed more information. So it searched online using the Tavili API, and it found more data. So let me show you example over here. So as you can see, tool used, Tavili search. This is the query that it came up with, Selenium-based recorder feature and usage, because I asked it regarding, are you aware of Selenium-based recorder? Basically, the Selenium-based recorder allows you to do manual tasks in the web browser, and it records all these tasks, and then it can automate these tasks, which is pretty powerful and amazing. So I want to see how I can automate social selling using Selenium Base. So this is why I asked Claude Engineer to assist me with this, and as you can see, it searched Google with this query and it came with the result. Selenium based recorder mode allows user to record and export browser actions into test automation script. It can be activated from the CLI or record a desktop app. Anyway, this is just information that it pulled out using the Tavili search, which is very powerful. And then kept on going back and forth, but I'm not sure it's so relevant for the video. If we will start summing up this video, so first of all, I hope you find it useful, and I definitely think that Claude Engineer is very powerful. Obviously, we are always limited by the power of the LLM, but I wouldn't say on the other hand, we are also limited by how good is the system prompt and how is the file structured. And in this case, I think that Claude Engineer is very powerful because of the abilities to interact with the files and create files locally, and also the ability to do web search using the Tavili API. I don't know if I should compare it to Open Interpreter. I haven't used Open Interpreter in a while now, but I'm definitely going to invest a lot of time and effort trying to see how Claude Engineer can assist me in my automations and in my work with different clients. I highly recommend that you check it out. I think it's very valuable. Obviously, if you enjoyed the video, have any feedback or any ideas, leave them in the comment section. Obviously, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And until next time, keep on automating.